I was really bad at lyrics, melodies, form and structure. I had no process, understanding how to begin, how to end, and I couldn't sing. So that's five. So I had five weaknesses. Sometimes the greatest breakthrough we can have in our creative process, our creative journey, is to just take a moment, take a pause, step back, look at ourselves, perhaps through the eyes of someone else, and just take note of our strengths and our weaknesses and be honest about them. Strengths and weaknesses. Okay, so most people who watch this video, if you're a songwriter, all you think about is what you can't do. We look with envy at someone else. Oh, they write great lyrics, or they write great melodies, or they can sing so much better. I can't do that. You only see what you're not good at. The whole notion of this lesson is we start fixing one thing. We don't try to fix everything. We fix one thing. But first of all, we want to encourage ourselves. Okay, we don't want to we don't want to get the magnifying glass out and just look at all the things we're bad at. But let's take stock for a minute. Let's write down, what am I good at right this moment? Or what do you think you're good at? Or what does someone else or in your world think you're good at? What do your friends say? Hey, Tony, I really love the way you do that. I love the way you have a turn of phrase. Oh, I love the way you come up with some fun melodies. Oh, I love your titles. Oh, you have really interesting concepts. What is it? What are the things you're good at? So write down. Can you write down more than one? Can you write down two? Can you write down three? When I first started writing songs or started writing songs, taking it seriously, I could write down, I was pretty good at chords and harmony because at that time, I was like my early 20s. And I was actually at a career. I was a sideman. I was playing guitar for different people in Australia, traveling around and stuff. So I had a good understanding of chords. I recognized that if I sat down to write a song, if I was in a collaborative sense, yeah, I can write chords. That's probably the only strength I had at that time. Okay, so that's what I would write down. Honestly, I'd say, I'm good with chords. I'm not going to mention what I'm bad at. But what are you good at? Write it down. Write it down and say, I'm good at this. That's one thing I'm good at. So therefore, this is something I can build upon. If you have one little thing, it might be lyrics. Okay. I got some friends who are good collaborators. So maybe that's what you are. Maybe you're someone who can come into a songwriting, a little gathering or meeting with your band, and maybe you can't sing as well. Maybe you can't play an instrument. Maybe you can't write great lyrics at this point, but you've got good ideas for a song, or you've got good perspective when other people are writing, and you can see the problem, how to write it, fix the problem. I got a couple of friends who are just really good at that, and so I love writing songs with them because they make me write a song different than I would normally write on my own, even though they don't write much. But being in the room with me, making suggestions, so that's a strength to me, a really great strength. So maybe that's you. The second part is write down the areas of weakness. What are your areas of weakness? And this is an honest review. This is your review on yourself. It's not mine, not anybody else's. But what lyrics? Not a great chord knowledge, perhaps. Your songs currently sound kind of all the same. So maybe that could be many reasons. Not great melodies. What is it? Not form and structure. Songwriting process is a great weakness or a big weakness I see in many people. Some people have weaknesses staying in time. That's more of a musician thing, right? Some people have a weakness also performing in front of other people, which is a big part of songwriting. So if you can't share your songs, you can't, play in front of an audience, that's a weakness. I've had students come to me who when I was teaching them and they would sing their song, they would make me look away while they sang the song to me. It's incredible fear. If that could be your fear, that's a big fear to get over, because if you can't perform your songs to other people, well, how do you share them? So for me, when I at the early days, the weaknesses, the two biggest weaknesses were lyrics and an area I didn't even understand, which was form and structure. I had no form and structure. But I wrote lyrics in an emotional sense. Everything was an emotionally driven lyric. So it didn't really have a great structure, and the lyrics didn't go anywhere and weren't very interesting to other people when I'd share the songs. The greatest weakness I had as a songwriter when I was young was I didn't think I could sing. And that's the trouble with most musicians I meet. So I have this theory that when I ask musicians, I go on tour and I pick up a band, I want them to sing, and they go, musicians usually say, oh, I don't sing. Yeah, I used to say that too. I'll have another video up here shortly about that. But yeah, you can, and you should, because if you can play an instrument, play piano, or you can sing. Just don't think you can. So that was a great weakness to me. Here's what we're going to do now. Choose the weakness that you wrote down, that perhaps the easiest fix. What's the easiest fix? All right. Like, so I'll give you, for me, that my big three were lyrics. They stunk. They were terrible. The writing process, I didn't have a process. I didn't understand writing form and structure. No idea. And then the singing. So the singing was, to me, impossible. At that point, when I came to the realization, I was about 26, 27 years old, and I was at the place where I'll never make it. My dreams will never come true. I can't sing. I have no idea what I'm doing writing songs. Everybody tells me they're terrible. They have the melodies. I forgot the melody. I was really bad at melodies too. And so yeah, I had a long list of things, melodies. And how I knew I was bad at melodies was when I was playing in clubs, and it come to my solo, and I'd play a solo, and all of a sudden I'd get incredibly fear upon me, and I'd play this terrible solo, and it would just crash and burn, and I couldn't understand what that was, and I realized it was fear of making a mistake. But a solo is a melody, right? So it's just jamming and improvising some melody. So there you go. There's another thing. So I was really bad at lyrics, melodies, form and structure. I had no process, understanding how to begin, how to end. Yeah, and I couldn't sing. So that's five. So I had five weaknesses. I had one strength at the time. I felt good playing chords. So you think if someone came along if someone come along and viewed this from a very pessimistic view, they'd say, Chris, I consider a different career path. I consider doing another hobby. But I just love songwriting. I just wanted to be a songwriter. So the dream couldn't die. So what I did, and it was just someone helped me, what's the easiest fix? The easiest fix for me began with lyrics, because I found someone who helped me. And in the lyric writing, he also helped me a little bit with form and structure. And he explained a little bit about the process. So within maybe 5 or 6 months, and I would go, and he would coach me, right? I'd go every week. He'd coach me every week, and every week he'd work on my lyrics. And as I've shared in other lyrics, other little lessons here, I'd have a lyric of 16 lines, and he would cross out 15 of them. That's how bad they were. And he would leave one line and say, right, go and write a song around that line. That's really good. Go and build another line, another line, another line. I'd come back next week, and then I'd have 4 lines left, and he'd cross out 12, and then gradually got better. And gradually I could see my lyrics through his eyes or through his ears. That got stronger and stronger. And then through that, the other things came. Melodies, I got a bit better because I was being forced by him. But he was very wise too. And this is something that I do when I coach people. When someone comes to me and I see, let's say I saw a version of me turn up and I had all those problems. Well, a bad teacher would go, oh my God, this is a lot of work. I'd say, no. Wow, I'd pick on the strength. I go, man, I really love your chords. That's really good. I love that a lot. Wow, we got a great foundation to build upon. And then I'd try to find out what's the weakness that you're less sensitive about, right? So for me, don't go singing. Don't bring that up, because at that time, no, I can't sing. But I'm interested in learning how to be a better lyricist or process. So a good teacher would come to someone like me and say, okay, lyrics, okay, let's gently improve that. And in the process, I'd be feeding in other parts of it, right? Which I do all the time, feeding in a bit of process, a bit of form and structure, a bit of discussion about also who the song is for, a bit of discussion about who's going to perform it, and about tempos and keys and meters and all these different things. I see the problem in people's songs. And gradually, and I have a goal all the time. Like if someone says they can't sing, I'm going to get them to sing one day. It might take a year, it might take 2, it might take 3 or 4 years, but I'll get them to sing. But it's a process, okay? So, but for you may be a good singer, but you're not great at lyrics, or you're not great at melodies, whatever it is, but you build upon the easiest fix. And if you could as soon as you have a victory, which is a really great way of getting out of trouble. So I had 5 things I was terrible at: lyrics, melodies, form and structure, the process of songwriting, and singing. So I had 5. So gradually, those came down. Those came down, and I got down to after in 1 year of doing these little courses and training with this mentor. After 1 year, I had a song published, and in a year later, the whole singing thing happened, and that's a whole nother story. Going through that pain and hurt that I couldn't sing. But it didn't take, but so that's the thing for you. So the next thing for you to do, having you've heard my story about this, is that you be willing to invest in yourself. Okay, so it doesn't have to do with me, but so you go, what do I lack? Say it's lyrics. Well, there's some great courses online about lyrics, and you can just invest and go, or you can go and find a local teacher. You can go to a local city college in America, go to a city college, and Australia be a TAFE, and I don't know the other countries. You can go and do how to write lyrics. You can work at that if you're really serious to get better. Because sometimes the problem is just identifying it and being honest, saying, okay, I agree, my lyrics aren't great, or find another songwriter that you know, or come and do one of my courses. It's up to you, but you invest in it. You invest in yourself. Why not? You're worth it. Because if you can just start chipping away at the things you're not good at, like for me, lyrics is now probably a greater strength. I'm probably stronger in that weakness than any other part of my songwriting because I really, really, really worked hard at it. It's one of those things. In my weakness, I became strong. So that's what I would say. You got to invest in yourself. Are you willing to invest in yourself? And you watch the process, but you start with the easiest fix.